While everyone was talking about electric cars from Tesla, BYD, and Toyota, Hyundai made a splash that no one had imagined, the Creta EV. Yes, the same Creta you have seen with petrol and diesel engines is now returning in its new electric form. But remember, this will not be an ordinary EV. Imagine a car that offers luxury, saves money, and is better for the environment. Would you pass it up? Probably not. According to reports, Hyundai has used the same battery platform that has already been tested in international models, meaning both performance and safety will be top-notch. And that is why everyone in the auto industry is talking about this car right now. But the real question is, what battery technology has Hyundai used in it? And why is this car shaking up the entire EV market? Before learning about Hyundai's Creta EV, let us take a look at where Hyundai stands in the electric car market today and why it is moving away from petrol and diesel toward electric. Look, Hyundai is not a new company. It is the brand that gave India's middle class their first family cars, the Santro and the Ion Zero. But times have changed. Now, a car does not just mean travel, it represents the future. And in this future, electric cars are going to be king. Today, Hyundai is one of the few companies in the world working on electric vehicles at every level, from affordable to luxury. It already has two major electric models, the Hyundai Kona EV and the Ioniq 5, through which it has gained significant experience. Importantly, the Ioniq 5 has established Hyundai as a serious player in AV technology worldwide. It demonstrated that Hyundai does not just copy, it innovates. Now the company is preparing to achieve something even bigger by bringing that experience to India, and the Creta EV is the first major step in that mission. So the question now is, why did Hyundai have to shift from gasoline and diesel engines to electric? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. The world is changing. Over the past few years, we have seen climate change become a bigger concern. Petrol prices keep rising, and governments have really started to focus on clean energy. Countries like the United States, those in Europe, and China have already decided to ban new petrol engine vehicles in the coming years. What this means is companies that do not shift to electric in time will just disappear from the market. And honestly, a major company like Hyundai simply cannot take that risk. The second major reason is all about technology and trends. These days, users want more than just good mileage. They want silent driving, fast charging, low maintenance, and smart features. Electric cars offer all of these things. Hyundai noticed how rapidly companies like Tesla and BYD were growing, and it was clear that this growth was based almost entirely on technology. This made Hyundai realize that the future of cars would not be about engines anymore, but about batteries and software. That is exactly why it began developing the EGMP, or Electric Global Modular Platform, which now forms the backbone of its new electric vehicles. The third reason is India's EV boom. India is actually the world's third largest automobile market, and the government is really pushing EVs through schemes like FAME 2, tax relief, and a rapidly expanding charging network. All of this presents a major opportunity for Hyundai. The company knows that whoever wins India's EV market is basically capturing Asia's largest market. So one more thing to note here, Hyundai has always been known for its timing. It tends to catch trends, but only when the market is truly ready for them. It first conquered the SUV segment with the Creta, and now, well, it is about to repeat history by launching the same brand in an electric avatar. Battery technology is really where the whole game changes. The true strength of any electric car is not actually its motor, it is the battery, and this is where Hyundai has made a move that has kind of disrupted the entire EV market. Right now, there are two main battery technologies in use, LFP, which stands for lithium iron phosphate, and NMC, which is nickel manganese cobalt. Both of these have their own advantages and disadvantages. LFP batteries are cheaper, more durable, and they are resistant to overheating. NMC batteries, on the other hand, offer higher energy density, so more power in less space, which increases the vehicle's range. Now, the big question arises, which technology did Hyundai adopt for the Creta EV? According to reports, Hyundai has used LG Chem's NMC high-density battery, which has already been tested in the Ioniq 5 and Kona EV. This is the same battery that is known for its performance and safety in many international markets. These cells are not only lightweight but also quite powerful, meaning the car can actually run approximately 450 to 500 kilometers on a single full charge. That pretty much eliminates daily charging and makes long-distance journeys no longer a problem. But the story does not end there. Hyundai has focused not only on range, but also on charging speed with the Creta EV. Now, a lot of people believe the biggest problem with EVs is battery life. However, Hyundai claims the Creta EV's battery can comfortably last 8 to 10 years or around 200,000 kilometers. And to further build customer confidence, the company plans to offer an 8-year warranty. Do not think Hyundai relies solely on imported batteries either. The company is gradually preparing for local production in India. Reportedly, Hyundai, in collaboration with its South Korean battery partner LG Energy Solution, is planning to set up an EV battery assembly plant in India. This will help reduce battery costs and make vehicles like the Creta EV more affordable. And yes, there is another interesting feature. The Hyundai Creta EV's battery supports vehicle 2 load or V2L functionality. This means that if you are on a road trip, you can charge your laptop, coffee machine, or even another electric bike using the car's battery. So it is not just a vehicle. It is actually a mobile power bank, because when a midstream SUV offers a 500 kilometers range, charges in 30 minutes, and runs flawlessly for 10 years, believe me, the game has truly changed. The unveiling of the latest Hyundai Creta is a masterclass in evolutionary design, a careful dance between honoring its legacy and boldly stepping into the future. The philosophy can be best described as the same identity but with a completely new heart. This is not a simple facelift or a timid refresh. It is a thoughtful recalibration of a beloved formula, ensuring it feels both comfortingly familiar and excitingly new. From a distance, the silhouette that greets you is unmistakably Creta. Hyundai has wisely retained the fundamental proportions and the assertive stance that have made this SUV so recognizable and dear to its legion of owners. The strong shoulder line, the confident posture, and the overall footprint are all present and correct, offering an immediate sense of continuity. It is the familiar face in a crowd that you are always happy to see. However, as you draw closer, the narrative begins to shift. The devil, as they say, is in the details, and it is here that the new heart begins to reveal itself. Hyundai's designers have performed a delicate operation, infusing every corner with a subtle yet unmistakable electric touch. The once purely functional grille has been reimagined. Perhaps it is now a seamless panel with intricate pixel-like patterns hidden within or flanked by new lighting signatures that feel more like sophisticated electronics than simple bulbs. The headlights and taillights, key elements of any car's character, have been meticulously redesigned. They might feature complex multi-layer LED arrangements that create a sharp digital glow, making the vehicle look awake and intelligent even when stationary. New alloy wheel designs with their intricate, almost aerodynamic spokes further hint at the advanced technology pulsing within, replacing heavier, more traditional patterns with something lighter and more futuristic. These are not changes for the sake of change. Each adjustment is a thoughtful stroke on the canvas. The goal was clear: to make the Creta feel futuristic without becoming alien. The creases on the body might be sharper, the surfaces more sculpted, and the lighting elements more complex, yet they all work in harmony to preserve the model's old charm. It is the automotive equivalent of a cherished heirloom watch being fitted with a state of the art mechanical movement. The soul remains, but the performance is transformed for a new era. This careful balancing act results in a vehicle that feels like it has one foot firmly planted in the heritage that built its success, and the other confidently stepping into the next generation of automotive design. It is a design that respects your memory of the Creta you loved while simultaneously inviting you to discover the thoroughly modern, re-energized spirit that now defines. The story of the battery is not just about technology. It is really the story of man's determination and journey to capture energy. Starting from the moment when we first thought of capturing electricity, battery technology has come a long way. Once we saw electricity only in flashes of lightning or thunderstorms, but then came the turning point when humans started thinking, could it be carried with us? It was here that in 1800, Italian scientist Alessandro Volta created an amazing thing: the voltaic pile made of discs of copper and zinc, and pieces of cloth soaked in salt water. This was the first real battery that captured electricity in human hands for the first time. Although it did not last long, it opened a door. This created a stir in the world of science. Scientists like Humphrey Davy and John Frederick Daniel worked towards making it stronger, more durable, and more stable. In 1836, the Daniel cell made of sulfuric acid and zinc was the first to be able to deliver a constant current. But the real revolution came in 1866 when Georges Leclanche of France created the dry cell battery, a battery that used paste instead of liquid.